All right, and the court, based upon precedent in these other cases, including Judge Roach's sentencing, I'm not sure why this young man should be treated any differently than any other defendant in this case. As I said before, the state attorney's office made probation offers to 6 people in this case who got probation. Courts had nothing to do with that. One other young man I sentenced to a year in jail plus probation, and I'm not sure what other sentences I've given, I don't remember. But based on what I have heard, what I know about this case, and the facts that are contained within the record from the sentencing of Mr. Ferguson, as well as the sentencing in Judge Roach's court, as well as all the facts I was aware of how Mr. Champion ended up on this bus, and how, in the testimony that was brought forward to the court in Mr. Ferguson's sentencing, and the transcripts, the court doesn't have before it any evidence that this wasn't a willful participation by Mr. Champion. There is no evidence of that before the court at all. I know, at least from my understanding of the situation, why he got on that bus. He felt he wouldn't get any respect from these band people unless he did, and I understand that. But the legislature under 921.026 has given the courts the authority to downward depart for willing participation in paragraph F, and I'm finding that I'm going to do that. But I am not going to give you 3 years like we talked about. I'm going to send you to 4 years in the Department of Corrections. And you will receive credit for 2 years, 149 days, time served, or credit time served. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
2 years, 149 days. You have been in prison now for 41 months. You're probably going to do about another 11 months. Do you understand?
Yes.
And based on all the facts of this case, based on the sentencings of the co-defendants in this case, and based on everything I've heard, I feel that there was willful participation by Mr. Champion in this. No question in my mind, Mr. Champion did not get on that bus thinking anything like this was going to happen, but I think he willfully got on the bus and knew that he was going to go through this line, and he knew what the line was. And the evidence is clear as to that based on the testimony and transcripts we have. So the sentence of the court will be 48 months, Department of Corrections, concurrent with any other sentence you are currently serving. And as to each count, he's adjudicated guilty on each count if he hasn't already been adjudicated. He's adjudicating him, so he is adjudicated guilty of manslaughter in count. Is that count 1? I'm looking at old information. And college hazing causing injury or death in count. Is that 2? Yeah. Does that count 2, Mr. Extra?
Should be.
Yes.
Okay, in count 2. You're adjudicated guilty of both those counts, which means you have a pretty bad felony record now on your record that you're going to have to live with the rest of your life. The court has stated on the record its grounds for downward departure in this case. I think one person got 6 years, is that correct?
Yes.
And that was somebody who went to trial in front of Judge Roach?
Dante Martin, yes, sir.
Yeah. And you got the second highest, I think, number of years. But that being said, you scored significantly more than that. You scored about 10 years. And the court's taken all the things that's already put on the record into consideration. You have a right to appeal the judgment and sentence of this court within 30 days. Any appeal you take has to be in writing. If you want to take an appeal and can't afford an attorney, we'll appoint one for you. You can talk to your attorney about that. And I wish you luck, sir.